Hi, my name's Kelsey, and this is Maximum Ride. And it is pouring rain outside, so we came into the barn to talk to you about the poinsettia flower. And again, this is not medical or safety advice. This is just to pique your interest about this beautiful flower, which is well known because of its connection with Christmas. So actually, it's quite a bit of history with this flower besides just Christmas. So the first place that I found it was mentioned with the Aztecs valuing this flower, which is where it's natively from. It's down from in Mexico. The poinsettia in tropical regions can get up to 12 feet high, and the leaves can be 6 inches wide. And it actually is a perennial, which means it will come up year after year. So if you do have any in your house from Christmas, you can actually keep them, and they'll be good year after year. So anyways, the Aztecs actually highly valued this flower. They would use it for medicines. They would also use it for dye. Some people say it was purple, some people say it was red, and some people say it was a purplish red. And one of the more significant things for them with this flower was its connection, the symbolic red, which they highly prized. It represented the red, the blood of sacrifices to their gods. And it also was connected with it because it would bloom in fall and early winter, which would, for them, would be their wartime because that was the dry season. Let's see. So another reason it's connected to Christmas, there is some legends there too. But first, how it got to the U.S. was there's actually a U.S. ambassador that went down to Mexico. And while he was there, he saw these plants growing by the roadside, and he became fascinated with them. So he dug some samples up and sent back to his greenhouse in the United States. And once he got back to the U.S., he actually experimented with growing these plants and reproducing more of them. And one source I found said he gave them away at Christmas time, and that was part of how they became popular with Christmas, besides the fact that they were green and red. Another one said that he simply gave them away to some of his friends that had the same botanical interest as he did. And from there, being green and red, they became popular at Christmas time over a number of years. So these plants can come in different colors besides green and red. So they can come in white, they can come in pale pink, they can come in red with white splashes on the leaves. Now if you see any blue leaves, those are actually man-made. They do not come in blue. And what we consider the flower, the red on the plant, are actually the leaves. So the middle of what we see as the flower, the yellow part, is a true flower of the poinsettia. And so anyways, the way it became connected with Christmas is, I don't remember which monk started using it, but there was one monk that used it during the Christmas holidays, the Christmas celebrations in Mexico. And smaller towns would use these, and they for the color, because the symbolic color of green and red. And so that's how it became connected with Christmas. But at the same time, once they start using these flowers, there's also a legend that people start talking about. Whether or not it's true, I don't know, but it's definitely solid in folklore. Is there was a poor girl in Mexico that went to church one evening. It was Christmas Eve, and she went with some of her cousins and family, and she was sad because she didn't have a gift to leave at the altar for baby Jesus. And so her cousin told her that it was a thought that counted, and Jesus appreciated the smallest gesture. So on the way to church, she picked a bouquet of weeds, and at first when she started to go up to the altar to put the bouquet of weeds down, she felt ashamed, But then she remembered what her cousin had said, because she wanted to offer baby Jesus something better than a bouquet of weeds. But as she reached out to place this bouquet of weeds on the altar, they suddenly bloomed into the beautiful red and green poinsettias that we know today. And so that's the legend of how the poinsettia came to be, at least one of the legends. And let's see, is there anything else about this flower? Oh, it's actually the national flower of Madagascar. And I think there's probably a little bit more. That's what I remember from my research. And I hope you have enjoyed this little chat with me and Maxie about the poinsettia flower. Oh, it looks like Maximum fell asleep over there. You asleep, Max?